Right, just a quick note on impregnation. On Off the Bench on Facebook, we've got about 10 years of going through impregnation of different materials and mixes and how that's done. So I'd recommend going back and just enjoying paging through the photos and the notes on different sediments and soils for impregnation. Kind of proud of that. But I did want to show you just quickly, you cannot beat getting from any department store or say Lakeland Plastics. It's called the Stewart mixing pitcher really. And what I've done is mark on it the different mixes. Now, I will send you the different recipe mixes for soils and sediments. So don't worry, that will come on paper to you. But really the one that everyone starts with, if you've got a lovely soft silt or loam, the recommended mix has always been in a 2-liter container, 1800 mils, you can see it marked on the container, of resin, to 200 mils of acetone. Mix it up well so you can no longer see the acetone floating on top of the resin. And then of course it's never changed either. It's 1.6 mil in a blowout pipette. So what I often do is I will fill my pipette to 0.8 mil, but on the blowout it reads 2. And I'll fill that twice so that I know that I've got it, because it's difficult to try to fill a blowout pipette up to the top for 1 mil. So in deference, I've always gone to 0.8 or 2 on the blowout and then do it twice. And then again, of course, just mix it up till you no longer see the MEKP, the hardener, within the mix. Pretty much it. Really, my only thing to recommend about impregnation is that always take the time to do the mixing. They used to say when you introduce the acetone to mix it for 5 minutes stirring. That isn't necessary. However, the more acetone you add, the more you need to stir and fold in. So that's just something to keep in mind. But really, it's when you stop seeing the acetone floating on the resin or in strands within the resin that you know you've mixed it. As well as the same principle with the MEKP. Remember, I will send the mixes to you. You can also mark on your container half mixes. You know, say you've got everything pretty much topped up, but it sinks below the top of the sample. Then you can make a half mix and quickly top it up, and I'll put that on the paper on the recipe mixes too. I think that's pretty much it for impregnation. Take your time, mix well, but not over mix. And I would say that if your samples need to have more mix, don't be afraid on that first introduction. Get the resin up over the top of the samples if you can, if the sample isn't too large, because that puts a barrier against air entering your sample while it cures. that is the best working principle, is to have your samples submerged completely. You'll get a more plastic cure. But we know that oftentimes in mammoth thin section sampling, those blocks are just too big. So all you can do within your plastic container is get it up as far as you can to the top of the container. And remember to top up to that amount. And then you're hoping that the submerged part of that large sample is going to be anaerobic. It's not going to let a lot of air in down at the bottom of your impregnation container. Okay, that's it for that. I'll send the mixes. Next one I think is we're going to look at sawing.